You ready to let the dogs out?
What?
Do what?
From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
Join Pet Pals TV's Patty Spitler as we celebrate our furry friends.
Cats, dogs, and all the critters in your family.
Celebrate the bond between pets and people and meet Hoosier heroes saving four-legged lives.
I love it. Good. I'm glad.
It's the Positively Patty Podcast.
I can't wait anymore. Me neither.
Now, your host, here's Wish TV contributor Patty Spitler.
And today on the Positively Patty podcast, talking about something very, very important. Yes, summer is almost here, and it is darn hot out there. Now, what can you do? Oh, you can jump in the pool, you can sit in front of a fan, but what about your dog? Are you having him chained outside? Probably not a good thing. We're going to learn more from Fido, Friends of Indianapolis Dogs Outside, and the executive director joins me today, Darcie Kurtz. So stay there. Oh, get pencil and paper. We got some numbers to give you, too, on the Positively Patty podcast. And now on the Positively Patty podcast, we have Darcie Kurtz with us today. Very important. Darcie is the executive director for Fido, Friends of Indianapolis Dogs Outside. It is damn hot out there. And I say that as easy as I can because it's terrible to leave your dog outside chained or without any place or water or shelter. And we're going to talk about what Fido does to help. First off, you try to educate, correct?
Right. First of all, thanks, Patty, for doing this story. This makes a big difference, getting the word out to the people who need to know. So, we do a lot of outreach where we go out into neighborhoods where we know there are lots of outside dogs, and we just talk to the people, offer our help, offer information, and including what our local dog care and treatment ordinances are, especially right now in this
90
in this
degrees
warm
you're
weather.
supposed to bring them in.
Correct. When temperatures reach or exceed 90 degrees, our local ordinance says that dog owners need to bring their dog inside a temperature-controlled building, and that's by definition, a building kept between 40 and 80 degrees. So we always encourage people to bring their dogs in their house, but it could be even garage as long as it's under 80 degrees. Basements are a nice option because they're nice and cool down there. If the dog can be sleeping on the sofa, that's that's ideal. But even the basement or an air-conditioned garage.
Right. I always say when people come over to my house, because Stewie gets to go on all the furniture, I say that's why they call it furniture. Furniture. Also, get things like I just wipe it off. They're not fluffy things. They're leather and easy to clean. Anyway, we want to talk more about Fido. You've been educating, and you've been at this for a very long time. This is tricky. Do the ordinances, you mentioned them, do they change from county to county, or you need to check with your officials?
Right. So the ordinance that I just talked about, the hot weather ordinance, applies to Marion County. I should say specifically Indianapolis.
Okay.
It doesn't apply to all the excluded cities in Marion County. I will say the ordinance has been used as a model ordinance in a lot of the other counties around Indiana. Good. So a lot of other regions have replicated this ordinance to a certain degree. And we've gone and talked to other, government bodies about how this has helped in our county. So I do think more and more counties are realizing that you've got to have some specific protections on the books for animals out there.
So you're seeing progress. You're seeing the work that you've done is making a difference.
Yes, I can definitely say things are getting better out there. It's a slow, slow process, but I do think things are gradually getting better.
Yeah, well, and we've all grown up with different backgrounds. For instance, my dad didn't believe in neutering a dog. We had male dogs. Sometimes when your family did something, or and you think you can do that same, times change, and you have to change with them and learn to be a better pet person.
Totally agree. My parents let our dogs run around the neighborhoods.
Oh yeah.
You can't do that either.
I will say though that Dad, he never had a leash. The dogs just followed him. They knew he was the pack leader, but he just didn't believe in neutering the male dogs. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, how do people get a hold of you? No, let me back up. What do you do if you see a dog that you think is in distress?
Yes, so what we always recommend, so our local animal enforcement agency is Indianapolis Animal Care Services, and they become inundated with calls from good concerned citizens worried about animals in the heat, but you gotta be smart about how you report. So you want to make sure these dogs are not just out there to do their business for 5-10 minutes. So if you see a dog that is outside, especially if it's chained or it looks like it lives out there, maybe go back in a half an hour, see if the dog is still out there. And if the dog does not, any time the temperatures are over 80 degrees, dogs need overhead shelter. So we're there today. Okay. Sun's out, they need overhead shade.
And water.
And they always need water.
Yes.
So that's just a given. Dogs always need shelter, always need water. But days like this, when it's over 80, they also need overhead shade because that doghouse is just a little oven. You need some protection from the beating overhead sun.
Yeah.
So, and then if the temperatures are over 90, like we said, dogs need to come inside a temperature-controlled building kept between 40 and 80 degrees. So if you're seeing a dog that doesn't have these protections and you check back in a half an hour, the dog's still there. The dog seems like it's in distress.
Yeah, you can tell. I
Yeah.
mean, they're panting, and a heat stroke could be a problem too. So there's so many things that could happen. All right, then they contact you.
So we're not 24/7.
Okay.
So really, Indianapolis Animal Care Services has animal control officers 24/7.
All
So
right.
they need to. The best way to reach them is through RequestIndy. It's an app you can put on your phone. You can Google RequestIndy. The reports go directly to the animal control officer's inbox. That's the best way to report cases. For people who can't do that, there's the Mayor's Action Center. You can call 317-327-4622.
Okay, give me that again.
317-327-4622.
Okay.
For people who want our help, who want assistance with complying with the ordinance, bringing their dogs inside. Say, for example, somebody says, well, my dog has fleas and my dog's not house trained. We'll help to remove all those barriers. We can help with flea treatment. We can help with inside dog training crates.
Oh, wonderful.
So we can help with people who want our help. We just don't have the law enforcement authority to do anything about a situation where people don't want our help. And that's where Indianapolis Animal Care Services comes in.
Are you finding, though, more and more people are receptive to your information and education?
Surprisingly, I would say 80% of the
Really?
people, to a certain extent, they might comply for a while and you go back and things have deteriorated. But at least I would say 80% of the people we can have a conversation with, we can start the conversation and start making progress, and they'll allow us to kind of work with them.
Well, that credit goes to you for your demeanor and the way you approach it. I mean, you're smiling, you're pleasant, you're not going up and sticking your hand in their face and shaking a finger and saying, you're a bad person.
Right.
You're saying, let me help you. Let me
we
help.
always try to think, like, how would we feel if somebody approached us? It's just human nature. You've got to start off not being judgmental, just being helpful. We're here to help.
Good for you.
Yeah, but it's just really important now to get the word out with this extreme heat.
That's so hot.
I mean, when it gets in the 90s and dogs are out there, especially if they don't have water, overhead shade, they might not survive this heat when it gets into the 90s.
And there's also some dogs, like Stewie's a snow dog. He loves the snow, but you put on a big, heavy black coat and go stand out in the sun. See how you like it.
Exactly.
So I mean, he goes out in the morning and the evening and comes in 68-degree air conditioning with a fan on for the rest of the time. There are some breeds that also, they just cannot take this heat.
Right. We see a lot of like Huskies and German Shepherds outside, and those are the ones that just have this really thick fur, and they just do really poorly out in this heat. Not to say other breeds don't also, but they suffer especially with those really thick coats.
All right, Fido, Friends of Indianapolis Dogs Outside. Also, you're probably looking for people who would like to help, volunteer.
Oh, exactly.
And any extra money would help.
Never turn down a donation.
Food, flea treatment, anything, right?
Exactly.
They can help you. How do they get a hold of you?
So we can be reached through our helpline at 317-221-1314. We can also be reached through email at info@fidoindy.org.
FidoIndy.org. Very good. And I know you're up on Facebook as well.
Correct. And our Facebook is Indy Fido.
Indy Fido. Okay. Well, thank you. Stewie loves you, so that's important.
Oh, I love Stewie too.
He came over and sat on your foot, and I go, he's claiming you. So,
I know. I didn't think I could move there for a second.
Yeah, he's a pretty big boy. And
Well, thanks, Patty, for doing this. It makes a huge difference being able to get the word out to a broad audience.
Yeah. I'll pet you from over here
Okay.
because you do wonderful work and you deserve applause,
Well,
too. Lots of what you do. I don't know that I could do it. I'd probably get too upset. So, and you've done this for many years, so you'd get kudos.
well, thank you. There are a lot of happy endings out there. It's not always easy, but there's a lot of happy endings.
That's wonderful. Good for you. Okay, Darcie Kurtz, again, the executive director of Fido. Contact them, indyfido.org. Did I do that right?
So through our email is info@fidoindy.org.
Okay.
Or our helpline is 317-221-1314.
All right. And if you can't remember that, contact me. My Facebook page is open, and I can connect you to her. Also, they're on Facebook. Thank you, Darcie, so much.
Thank you, Patty. Really appreciate it.
Stewie says thank you, too.
You're very welcome, Stuart.
Okay, that's the Positively Patty podcast. So bring them in, and we'll see you next time on the Positively Patty podcast.
Discover more pet-friendly stories at PetPalsTV.com and stay with Wish TV online at WishTV.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast and discover more great podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at AllIndianaPodcastNetwork.com.